Terminator Resistance by developer Teyon is a better Terminator entry than Terminator Dark Fate because it actually cares about the source material and its fans. I know, shocking, right? The game throws you into the shoes of Private Jacob Rivers, who is a Resistance soldier that is marked for termination by Skynet and is listed as the number 3 target behind John Connor and a Resistance leader named Baron. And you're trying to escape the pursuit of the Terminators as they are hunting you down while wiping out the entire Pacific Division of the Resistance. Right off the bat, the atmosphere is nailed. This game makes you feel like you're reliving the moments hinted at in the films. Lasers blasting, HKs flying around blowing everything up, smoke, broken concrete scattered everywhere. From this point, I knew I was going to find this game really enjoyable. I am a huge fan of the Terminator series. I love everything about it. I even enjoyed Terminator 3, Salvation, and Genesis, because they were at least trying to flesh out more of the story and give us new looks at the future of Skynet and its attempt to win the war against humanity and John Connor. And this game did an even better job at that than those movies, which is pretty amazing for the discount budget this team was working on. Now, of course, this game has some flaws, but let's examine what this game gets right first. The story. The story here is pretty good. You fall in with a group of scavengers that are trying to get away from Skynet, and you interact with them all, learning about their past and their hopes and dreams for the future. You have Ryan, the leader of the group, Aaron, who is more of a motherly figure and a medic, Patrick, the child who wants to help and become a scavenger like his sister, Jennifer, the sister of Patrick and the main salvager. They're with you for most of the game, and they offer side quests that you can perform when you're out doing the main missions, like for instance finding a dog for Patrick, and finding out about what happened to Aaron's husband and many others. Doing each of these things has an impact on the overall progression of the game and the endings that you get. Basically, by building trust with the cast, you gain the ability to make important decisions for them later on because of that trust. Sooner or later, you make it to that iconic Resistance bunker and all the way to Skynet's core. It was really cool getting to see all these locations and becoming more familiar with the lore behind everything. I'd give it probably like an 8 out of 10. The music and sound design. All I can say is, wow. This is exactly like the movies. The guns and the sounds of the Terminators mixed with the music. It really did feel like you were watching a Terminator movie at times. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. And I'm just going to shut up for a minute and let you listen to some of this stuff. It's great.
Push forward! As soon as you get down the street, turn right and run as fast as you can.
Now we'll move on to the gameplay elements. And this is kind of a mixed bag. I guess if I had to compare it to other games, it would be like a Fallout / Far Cry light type style game. You have maps that are medium-sized zones that you can explore and investigate, and many of these areas have secrets, and they have like skill books or new weapons that you can unlock. These are bite-sized portions of what you might expect to see in a movie, like Pasadena, the mental hospital, LA, Skynet's core. All these might take 10 to 15 minutes to traverse, but maybe an hour each to fully explore. Another element they have in the game is basically an RPG leveling system, where you gain experience for hacking terminals, laser gates, turrets, killing Terminators, picking locks, etc. And when you level up, you gain a skill point. These skill points are for increasing your abilities to hack, pick locks, reduce damage taken, increase damage dealt, and help with your crafting. While most of the skills are useful, really once you level up your gun skill, you become unstoppable when you mix that with the gun augmentations that you can do. With each gun, you can install Skynet chips. These chips drop off of enemies, and they can increase damage, clip size, stability, and fire rate. But this thing kinda ruins the whole difficulty of the game, because you can just stack damage chips and increase your gun skill, and you will start taking down Terminators in a few shots. I guess you could choose not to do that and increase the difficulty and tension of the encounters, but I really didn't realize it until I was nearing the end of the game and everything was still dropping so fast that it didn't even make sense. This kind of destroys any sense of fear when fighting against the Terminators, but it is something you can definitely avoid doing yourself. These elements and the others that they throw in are just pretty bare bones, and can really just ruin some of the gameplay near the end, so I would have probably played the game slightly different if I had known this, and would probably give it a higher score if the system were more balanced and fleshed out. The gameplay elements I'd give a 7 out of 10. The last really positive thing I do want to mention about the game though is their nods to the past movies. Elements that you will come across while playing the game, like dialogue, choosing a dog's name, finding certain bodies, are all very cool moments that definitely put a smile across my face. But not everything is perfect. The gun variation leaves a bit to be desired, as only 1 or 2 are actually really good, so you basically just find yourself chipping those, and you blow through the game like you're a Terminator yourself. And also, while you do have choices to make, the game doesn't really reward you for choosing one or the other. I replayed about 2 hours of the game to see the alternate endings, but the change was so minimal that it felt like I could have guessed what was going to happen anyways. Even one choice in particular, which changes literally everything about Terminator 2, didn't really impact much for the ending when I was sure it was going to be a bigger change. Also, the end itself is just a series of slideshow pictures and dialogue over top explaining what happened. So-and-so died, but did they have to die? I wonder. This is basically what it boils down to. I guess what just sucks is that everything was really fun, that by the end of it I felt kinda sad that the game wasn't given more of a budget to really go where it could go. Which is saying something, because the developer doesn't exactly have the best reputation after releasing the Rambo video game. Hopefully they will get more attempts at making games, like maybe they could do a RoboCop, Predator, or Judge Dredd, kinda like the 90s hits. They might be able to have a bit of success with developing these style games too. Overall, I'd give the game probably a 7.5 out of 10. I'd definitely give this game a chance if you're a Terminator fan, but perhaps wait for it to go on sale for about $30. The game's overall length was about 12 hours, and I purchased this game on my own for the full amount. You can also watch a full playthrough of the game, both edited and unedited, with all the endings on my channel in their respective playlists. Thanks for watching.